marble, poetry and pearls. A peek into the lifestyle of a Nizam. Though he's often remembered for being the world's richest man, Mehboob Ali Pasha, the 6th Nizam of Hyderabad, would probably just like to be known for having had great taste. His desire to be surrounded by the finest possessions in the world was one that was met when he came to own Falaknuma Palace. All it took to make that happen was one very hearty meal.
After dinner got over, Nizam could not sleep properly for 3 days. Looking at the opulence, grandeur, ambience of this palace, he fell in love with the palace. He called his prime minister and said, "Apni ऐसी जहाँ बना कि हमारे कदम यहाँ से नहीं उठ रहे." So bound by the tradition, the prime minister did the right thing and replied, "हुजूर मैं palace आपके लिए बनाया है. Sir, I built it for you."
He came, he ate, and he conquered. Falaknuma became one of the Nizam's palaces in the year 1895 and was his home until 1911. But as the fortunes of the Nizams felt tremors, the palace was soon abandoned. With its fine silks, chandeliers and vintage clocks, it became vulnerable and was finally looted until its own princess, who though too modest to admit, saw to its complete renovation. I'm privileged to meet Princess Esra of Hyderabad on one of her rare appearances on television.
Well, for me the most important thing was to give the feel of what it used to be, and we were lucky enough to have most of the furniture in the main building and all the chandeliers. And I had a very good team into people. I mean, you wouldn't know the difference of what was old, what was new. They copied it to perfection. And if it wasn't right, we went over and over again, and we have got the result that we wanted. So everything you see in the main palace is exactly as it was when it was done. Even the tassels are identical, the leather work is identical. So that was, for me, the most important thing to achieve, really.
Even if you have only one type of wood on your floors, unlike his 19, own some cut glass and marble keepsakes, unlike the Nizam's ballrooms full, and usually have a few friends for dinner compared to his 101 guests, you can still borrow a leaf or two from his rather larger-than-life life.
We had one dinner which was, you know, we used the dining room. So you had these old-fashioned things with fruit, and then sweets on different layers. They were layered sort of things you put on the table. In those days, people didn't talk across the table. You know, you only talk to your neighbor. I mean, the echo is wonderful. You can hear what went and it's spoken, the other end can hear it.
No one threw a dinner party quite like the 6th Nizam of Hyderabad. At the table were seated no fewer than 101 guests, he being the 101st, lending the name to his famous dining room. Stories of how the Nizam looked after his guests sent my imagination wild. I think that even the eggs came encrusted with gems. And then I imagine a story where, so happy with the guest's joke, he took his necklace off, flung it to the other side, leaving pearls scattered all along the table.
In the olden days, the food used to be served on golden and silver platters. There would be 100 butlers that would walk exactly at the same time in this room and serve the 100 guests. Everything in that era was about larger than life. This beautiful room would be laid with just the best of the cutlery, the crockery, the chinaware, the finest glassware that you could ever imagine.
So Mohit, you're sitting on a chair which is the Nizam's chair, which gives me a sense for what it might have been like to be his wife. If this is how they met every day, it seems like they were having a long-distance relationship. The acoustics of this table are fantastic. Is it true that the Nizam had arranged it such that he could hear a conversation literally at the other end of the table?
Absolutely.
So can you hear me now?
Yes.
What number did I just say? 7.
7.
Oh my God, I think you can practically hear my thoughts. Tonight I'd like that.
Your wish is our command.
After a delicious multi-course meal, I can finally say I know what it's like to dine with the Nizam. Coming up, how to plan a feast and set a table for one.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.